Welcome to the Nobody Asked podcast. This is episode 1. Thank you very much. Before we get started, please listen and or read the disclaimer. Some topics may be triggering, and we are not trained professionals, and simply are sharing our personal experiences. If you go through or have gone through mental health problems, please seek professional help. However, we are more than willing to pray with you and or for you. God bless and enjoy. All right. This is so weird, bro. Like, I've always kind of dreamt of like this moment, but to actually like do it, that's pretty weird, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very overstimulated right now. I don't know where to look. I know we're having conversation, but I really want to look at the camera because I've been doing short form content for so long. I'm so used to like. I'm just beside myself. So sorry if I know if to this episode just goes like freaking wherever, then how bad, all right? On today's episode, we're going to be talking about frustrations. And like share stories about frustrations. Actually, can I share a story? So I actually had a I had a frustrating moment like literally maybe like an hour and a half ago. So I bought a new motorbike, and I went to go to the store, to those auto stores, whatever they're called, whatever. Yeah. Auto stores, whatever. And so I get to the store, and then I pull up, and I googled the thing, and it said it closes at 7. No, actually, rewind. I googled this first store that I was going to go to. I'm not going to say the name, but I went to that store. It said it closes at 7, and it was like 5 at the time, 5:20. And I get to the store, and then it's closed. I'm just like, bro, you said 7. Like, I was already like, I was reaching it. I was almost there. And I was like, sweet, whatever. There's another store up the road. I'm going to go up the road and then see if they're open. But my hopes was already let down. So I was already like prepared just to go home. But I thought I needed to do a U-turn anyway. So I'll check the store. And then, so I turn to go do my U-turn, and I look like that. And then the doors are open. I'm like, yo. So I pull into the thing. And then I park my car. And then when I get out my car, check my phone to see what I need, the parts that I need and stuff, because I had a few questions to ask him. And then when I get to the door, there's a guy. I see a guy, a customer. No. This family walks out. Hey, I go hey, and then I lifted my mood up a little bit. And then when I look up, the staff lady, the girl, she was a young girl, maybe like 18, 19, closes the door, and then just stands by the door. But she's not looking at me. She's like facing the other way, like towards the store, inside the store. Yeah. And then I see a guy, a customer that's standing in line by the door. And then so I look at him, I'm like, and then he's like, he just looks down. And then I'm just like, is this door? And I'm because it's one of those doors where you stand and then it like opens itself. Yeah. Like it's not a push door, but it wasn't opening itself. So I walked closer thinking, I must have, silly me, I must have not set the sensor off. So I need to get closer to the door. I get closer to the door and it's not opening up. And me and him are still making like eye contact from time to time. And I'm just like, and I'm physically saying words out loud. Like, is the store closed? Is it closed, bro? And he's like looking, but then like not looking. And then the girl, the staff lady, I do a gentle knock, by the way. It wasn't like a, but I was pissed off at that time. But I was like, ding, 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 ding. And she turns like this, like a little smile. And I was like, and I'm trying to be presentable. Yeah, I'm trying to have like my face like nice. And then I was like, are you closed? Are you guys closed? And then she goes like this. And turns out, bro,
you gotta feel for that guy who was online though, bro. Because that guy he's going to get his stuff and then he sees you outside and...
I was thinking, bro, can someone tell me like freaking, I use open or not, bro? Like, that's all I want to know. And then I looked at this, but I gave her a look too. And I was just like, in my mind, I was like, excuse me? Turn around and tell me if you're, like, it's not a hard, like, I'm not, this is your job, like, you know what I mean? That pissed me off, man. Sorry. That
She's
made.
probably like standing there like, I don't get paid enough
I
for
was
this.
just thinking, like, why is this like a socially awkward moment when this is literally your job to answer the question that that in the place that you're working at? Like, you should know your opening and closing hours. All I ask, are you guys open or closed? And then she just smiles and then just turns away, gives me the cold shoulder, bro. I'm not some random dude like trying to hit on you or something. Like, you work here, cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be too close to home time for there.
Well, so then I looked at the thing and it said 5:30 it closes, and I looked and it was like 5:32, and then I was just like, am I justified in being like really angry right now? Like, well, yeah, kind of, because she's still, even if you are closed, you could have told me that you're closed. Yeah, she could have communicated. Yeah, but and then I was thinking like, but my mind went deep straight away. I was like, is this a social media thing or like a early lockdown thing where like, I don't want to say that be that guy, but like that generation, I guess kind of our generation too, because I kind of felt it a little bit after lockdown. But like, did it just pull everyone back from being like able to socialize properly? Do you know what I mean? Like, when's the last time you like a random you just had like a proper conversation with no agenda? Do you know what I mean? What do you reckon, bro? Because I reckon social media has a big part to play, and lockdown.
If you look at like teenagers right now and compare them to like teenagers when we were that age, completely different, bro. Because like our standard, and our standard of like hanging out is completely different from then, bro. Because now everyone can just like play online and all that stuff, like start up a group chat and all that stuff. My son does that heaps, bro. He's always on Discord. He's hardly ever out there, but when he's out there, all his homies go out too. But they're used to being inside, bro. I think that's what it is. You know, so that yearning to want to get out there isn't as big as it would have been, you know, back when we were.
For 100%. I think on like the gaming stuff too and social media is like the confidence that you can get just by like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no real consequences if there were to be consequences. Like, I don't even know if they're aware of this too, bro. Like, I'd like to hear your thoughts on like what you think your boy thinks, but like, do you think that they're aware that they can shut the device down at any moment, and does that fuel the confidence? Or is it like just a simple fact that they're in front of a screen and there's not an actual like physical person? Do you know what I mean? Was it both? Like,
I think it's more like their sense of connection's different to ours, bro. You know, because our sense of connection, like growing up, you'd just go over to your homie's house right after school and kick it there like for the whole evening. But now you can like, it's at your fingertips, bro, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. For like people who are overseas, I reckon that's mean because you can still keep in touch with them. But like people who live like 2 houses down, you'll text them, bro. Those kids will text them, bro. They won't go over there and be like, yo, what are you up to? They'll message first, and that's crazy to me, bro.
that's actually pretty buzzy to think about, eh? Yeah, no, that's true. I definitely remember like rocking up to like the bro's house. I like, speaking of that, like not texting. So school, I lived in a long driveway. I used to live in a long driveway, and it was honestly like maybe 500 meters long, like not even. And we lived at the very end. And so, when we get to the end of the driveway, my school, I have to walk down the road to the right side, turn right and walk down. And that's my school. And my bro's house was to the left. And so I would like go up. Mum and Dad, you already know this. So don't even come. Okay. But so I'd go up to the end of the driveway, and then I'd look like to see if like mum and dad are there, and then I just like, already know the bros at home, because the day that we're walking home from school, he was like, I don't want to go to school tomorrow. I'm just gonna rock up to your house, bro. And then, but in between like that day before prior to like that morning of me walking to his house, there was no like call, there was no text, there was no like Instagram message. I just rocked up, bro. Like, not even knowing. Like, sometimes his dad will be home and then we'll get like in trouble and that, or we'll like walk the train tracks and get up to like our own mischief and that. I think my earliest memory of devices. Oh, but was I even texting people back then? It was intermediate, and I had a
3200, was it the brick one?
I had it was a cool one. It was like that. but it was the Decepticons one. It was a Decepticons phone. If anyone knows, honestly, bro, I don't. It was a telecom thing. I think someone correct me in the comments, but it was like the Nokia brick phone. I think it was a Nokia, but it was like a Decepticons one, and the middle button had like the Decepticons logo.
Bro, that's crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy, and it had Snake on it and that. But I remember texting my parents and stuff like that. Maybe. I can't really remember texting like people like that.
Like homies and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I had one of those the Nokia ones where you could like pull the cover off and then there's like a sheet of paper or something like that you put in the middle and then you can change your whole phone's like skins and all that stuff.
Yeah. I think it was kind of like that. And I think the Decepticons thing was a skin, maybe. That sounds familiar to me. I think so. Yeah, I think
I should have done my research, G. I should have named it right there. But you guys will know which one I'm talking about. Like
we'll put it up on the thing if we find it. But yeah, but you're right though, bro. Bro, speaking of like childhood days, and on the topic, I guess, of frustrations. What is your earliest moment of frustration?
I grew up in a big family, so I had 4 brothers, and it was like that since I can remember. But growing up in those kind of houses, it's always chaotic and stuff. But like my memory of frustration was like, I think it was more just like trying to jump up and down for attention from anyone that came over.
Where were you in the?
I was in the middle, bro. Me and my twin brother.
Yeah.
Were right in the middle, bro. So being there.
Yeah, true. Oldest gets the more, youngest always gets the most.
Yeah. But on top of that, my mom's like the caretaker of our whānau, bro. So in addition to like the 5 of us, there was always like an older cousin or 2 older cousins like staying with us at that time, bro. Yeah. So my earliest one of that is like, just trying to function in a house like that, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, with all the chaos going on and like having your own space, bro. Yeah. I didn't really have my own space growing up, bro, because there were so many of us. Yeah. But that's all I remember, bro. It's just the frustration of being like in a household like that with so many people there, bro. It was crazy to me.
Did you feel the frustration of like having to compete? Like when you say like the attention, like I'm guessing it's attention from everyone that's getting attention, or like.
Yeah, I think it is.
Like, is it from the parents or from the like
competitive? Not just like the parents, but from like the older cousins too. To be like, yo, that's cool.
It's the older cousins, bro. Like,
you want to be cool in front of the older cousins. So you're like, bro, look at this. No, but I guess every kid had that, as well. Yeah. Trying to get someone to say, hey, look at this, and then you just jump or something like that. And
what happened when like the attention just wasn't there? Like,
I think it pushed me to do naughtier stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because when you're not there, you're like, okay, you're not watching me doing something good, so I'll do something bad.
Oh, that's so my earliest memories of frustration, it was me frustrating others.
Oh, yeah.
But now hearing you say that, honestly, bro, I think like
that would have led to bro. That would have led to.
And I don't even know what my goal would have been, but I definitely remember acting out because I didn't get something, and that caused frustration. And I think maybe I didn't recognize that frustration then, but the reaction was because of that frustration, because I didn't get something.
Yeah, I feel that, bro. Yeah. It's always like that, eh? Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this cool ass thing, and you're going to be like, that's so cool, and then you do it, and nothing happens. And
bro, it's so like, because there's no thought of like consequences, or like, even if there is, it's just like, that attention, or wanting that attention, or getting the thing that you desired that caused you to do that thing in the first place is so strong that you're just willing to like throw so much out the window. Bro, I
want it.
I used to do some wild stuff, bro, like when I was a kid. Like, sorry. I'm sorry. I've already said sorry to you, but I'm freaking sorry, man, because I was bad, bro. I was a stubborn kid. Like, never say sorry kind of kid. Like, you can whack me so many times, you can put mouth in my soap, mum, so many times, and like I'm not budging, bro. Like, I'm not saying sorry. I'm not saying sorry because you made me frustrated in the first place, bro.
You did this to me.
How about you take accountability first, and then I'll think about it. I'm probably not gonna do it, but I'm gonna think about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think I felt justified in my actions then. Like, even though I know it was like you start to develop like a sense of right from wrong early on. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, because I got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. And even my 3-year-old, he knows right from wrong. Like, if he's being cheeky, he knows he's being cheeky, you know? So you start to recognize those things early on. But then I think it's like, okay, and like, yeah, you made me feel this way.
I haven't seen like bad stuff happen from it yet. So what's the stuff?
Yeah. And like, even if you are whacking me or like putting soap in my mouth, you made me angry. Like, yeah.
You started it, so
yeah. So probably the amount of things that like you justify just to like prove a point is like,
it's crazy.
It's freaking crazy, bro. Out of frustration. Yeah, that is so. With growing up in a household like that, doing the naughty things that you were doing, did that lead to like? Did those frustrations ever get solved, or were they just like escalating on top of each other, kind of way?
It's a bit of both, bro. You know, sometimes, yeah, and not having that, yeah, you just escalate every time it doesn't. Every time you don't get the outcome that you want, you say, okay, that happened last time, so this time I'll try to top that and we'll see what happens.
You don't forget nothing, eh? When you're like younger, you remember everything, eh? That's real trippy.
And you hold it, eh, all the way until even now, bro. There's some stuff that I hold on to, but
you're true. Yeah, true.
Most of it's just like, I think at the same time, the stuff that you held on to, you look back now as an adult and you're like, I don't think it was that big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the damage is done. So.
But damage is that's buzzy you say that, because like I'm a fellow grudge holder myself. Like, bro, for real, it's actually really bad. Like, it's low-key really toxic, to be honest. I'm working on it, but I remember in primary, so my parents are Christian, and in my household, my immediate household was beautiful, bro. Like, it really, honestly amazing. Like, I couldn't ask for anything better. Even though I caused my own and I sought out my own, you know, trouble. In my immediate house, like in my actual house that I lived in, was beautiful. And so that, and me, it developed like, I guess, God's heart, you would say. Like, it just gave me this compassion to like, I know whoever's in front of me, I'm not supposed to harm this person physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all those kind of things. And so I remember in primary, this was it primary? Yes, it was primary. This guy, he asked my name, and I told him my name. Oh, my name's Kelly, and he goes, "That's a girl's name."
Oh, nah.
But like, you can interpret it however you want to interpret it. But the most frustrating thing for me was that I felt convicted because I'm not allowed to punch him in the face. Like, I'm not allowed to hit you, because God's gonna be angry. And violence is not good. Violence is not good, like, at all. But I couldn't punch him in the face, and that made me so frustrated that he was able to like make fun of me, kind of, and make me feel this way, and I'm not allowed to react. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't do anything, even though like that's the right thing to do. The amount of frustration that stemmed from that, and then it eventually got to like girls' frustration, rejection, friends' rejection, disapproval from like parents, road rage when I started driving. But
bro, that's a big one, eh? Especially in Auckland.
By the way, I have like the worst road rage. So like, I follow you home, kind of like, it's really bad. It's actually really bad. For the most like simple, like if you don't indicate, you need a hiding. Like it honestly frustrates me so much And then if I don't do it, I justify in my head, well, I'm doing this because this fella didn't indicate from like 3 days ago. So like I'm gonna do yeah. I'm going against the system, but want to be like, yeah, it's actually annoying. Give us some stories, bro, about frustration.
I think like that, having that sown in me from when I was young, fed through to everything that I've done, bro. Because like now, like I did all the bad stuff when I was younger, but the stuff that I pushed for were like good things, you know? Like I'd read really well from like 4, bro.
Yeah.
And then when I didn't get attention doing that, I was like, okay, so reading's dumb. I'll go do something else. And then my cousins would play like instruments and all that stuff. So I'd run into their room, steal their instruments when they were asleep and try. And I got in trouble for stealing the instrument instead of like, wow, it's cool that you're trying to take this on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if I'm not allowed to do it, I'll do it the best. And then they'll see all of that. But I think it's like that bottomless pit of wanting to top everything that you've done that kind of pushes you back into that frustration. I feel like that's quite toxic too, bro. Because it's that like snake eating its own tail, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get to this point and yeah, it's crazy, bro. But like growing up, I'd always try to, it made me a perfectionist growing up, bro. So like throughout sport, throughout school, throughout all that stuff, if I didn't get like the best grades, if I wasn't in the top teams, if I wasn't like winning all of my games, then, you know, I just I wouldn't feel really good about it, and it would make me feel even more frustrated. So it was that, yeah, it was just bottomless, bro, growing up, and then I think it's kind of fed into now, bro, because now, like, I know how to deal with it now, but when I was younger, bro, of course not, bro, because all that rejection from friends and like, yeah, just trying to top all of those things, and then when I got to like a certain point, getting awards in school and then like making rep teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when those didn't get me that recognition or that attention that I wanted when I was younger, I was like, okay, I'll go do some bad shit then. So like got in with the wrong crowd, did the wrong shit for ages, bro. Got like, and that was where the disapproval from my parents kind of came from, bro.
Yeah.
Because it was like they'd see me doing stuff they'd see me doing the bad things after doing all the like they'd see me doing all of that, and then they just, you know, all that disapproval would just feed into that frustration again, bro. And it wasn't until I was a bit older that I realized like all those things that you're trying to reach for, they don't really, like, all the stuff that I got while I was younger, it didn't really matter in the end, to be honest, bro, because I think something that's more important than like having all those achievements is actually having those connections with people. So I've kind of moved that way, these days.
As Buzzy you say, like, in seeking after other people's like approval, attention, as you know, as Buzzy, like, kind of to bring it like back to the start of our early signs of frustration, just not getting that attention, we can hear like it just leads to like it just unlocks so many, and because it made us feel frustrated, the trajectory of your life just like, it's so Buzzy. Like I remember in school, I'm a social butterfly, but I'm the potential kid. Like Kelly's got so much potential, like, you know what I mean? And so I always had like these words and affirmations thrown at me all the time, loving parents and even the people around me, but like it was never like enough. Like it never turned to, like, I always needed to, and especially when I was younger, like it made me lie a lot. Like it made me lie to want to impress the other people that I was around in school and stuff like that, because like even though I knew that they liked me for me, otherwise they wouldn't want to be like in my presence, kind of thing. But like that wasn't enough for me. Like I needed them to, I don't know, like, what
I need to be the best friend that you've had, or I need to be I feel that, bro.
And I think because like it was easy for me to relate to everyone, to anyone. that like I always felt like I could feel like I could put myself in your shoes, even though I've never experienced your life before. And I think a lot of those early lies stem from that. But I think those lies came from me wanting to relate even more and then get like your approval even more. And then like, you know what I mean? And then it just sent me on this like, this long track of like building these amazing relationships and then losing these amazing relationships. And then building these amazing relationships and then losing these amazing girls, guys, everything, but even parents, and family members and stuff like that. And like, I knew that my family was never gonna go away, never gonna leave me, because I knew that they love me, you know. So I knew if I tested the waters, or this is what I felt. I felt like if I tested the waters, they're not gonna go anyways. You know what I mean? So like, I'm gonna go out into the world and seek out like these other relationships to try fill that. But like, yeah, it's a weird thing, bro. Like, it is weird. But like, I say that to say it stems from, I think, being frustrated at myself that the attention that I wasn't getting then, or that I wanted, that I needed to learn how to love myself properly. You know what I mean? Like, I needed to learn how to accept my own company and be okay with who I am being presented to the person that's in front of me, and like just accepting whatever they're, you know, presenting themselves to me. But it was like, nah, like I want you, I want all of you, I want you to love me and need me and want me. And like, to be honest, but I think I was a very demanding friend back then. Like, I think I expected a lot, but I never communicated those expectations properly. And that'll turn me to me getting frustrated at this guy or my mate, and then just be like, "Oh, stuff you, bro. Like, you're not my mate anymore, cause you're not loving me the way I want you to love me, even though I never communicated how I want you to love me," kind of thing.
Mine was similar, bro, but it was more like, yeah, when I was younger, it was more, what don't I have that those people have?
Yeah, true.
Why they're getting all that attention and praise and all that stuff. And then it came back to, the same thing that you said, like loving myself.
Yeah.
First, that's kind of where it gets easier, right?
Yeah.
When you kind of realize that it's enough without any of those things.
Yeah.
And like all those relationships that you had, like if they don't love you the way that you wanted to be loved, then that relationship maybe wasn't meant to happen, you know?
100%.
But sometimes it's, I did this. I did this, so no hard feelings. But yeah, that was me, bro. That's like that. Sometimes I had a lot of friends that I was like that with too, bro. You know, that I'd be like really frustrated at them after giving, because in all my relationships, like friendships, relationships, even with my whānau, bro, I'm a giver. So I love to do things for people. I love to give them like all my effort and love and attention and stuff like that. And as I was younger, I was like, bro, what's going on? I'm doing all of this. I'd be having these internal conversations, bro, where I'd be like, bro, I'm doing all of this for you. And like our relationship, like isn't, I'd be doing all this stuff for you, and our relationship, I'm not getting any of that back from you. So stuff you. I don't want to be your friend anymore.
What age are you then?
Bro, like high school. A lot of it's from high school, because all my younger relationships, bro, like when I was a kid, I'd say like maybe primary school, late primary school, bro. All those friends that I had then, and even intermediate. Like in our neighborhood, it was a tight knit neighborhood, bro. I'm from Middlemore. So like right next to the hospital, that was a tight ass neighborhood, bro. All the boys that I knew growing up with. Like I still keep in contact with them here and there, but that relationship, bro, it's like an extended whānau almost there, bro. And you would have had the same growing up, bro. So that growing up with that, all those relationships were all good. But and then in high school, I think it started to shift, because you have a whole lot more ego behind you when you're starting to grow from like a kid into a man, because your body starts changing, you know, a few things happen. You're not that little chubby kid anymore. You're starting to get a bit taller, get a jawline and stuff like that. And so that ego is way inflated. I think especially from like year 9 to 11, G. You know what I mean?
Year 9 to 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Hard.
You know what I mean? Because when you're in that age group, you're like, oh yeah, I'm the man now. I'm in high school. I'm like an adult. I deserve to be treated like one. But in reality, you're a little moipy, G.
Yeah, but I used to get so humbled in high school. Eh?
Yo,
I
same.
remember getting stepped out. Like, I straight up froze. Eh? Like this guy, older senior. He was a local crip in the neighborhood, and then I was just staring to stare. You know what I mean? You know when you just stare like into space, but it just happens to be at like someone.
Yeah.
Well, I just happened to just be staring at this big crip guy, and then he looked at me and he was just like, "You want a hiding, bro?" And I knew what he was saying, but it wasn't registering in my head. And so what came out was, "Huh?" And then he's like, "You want a hiding, bro?" And he's like staunching out to me. I was like, "Huh?" And he's like, "You want a hiding, bro?" And then he just walks off. He goes, "Ah." And he just walks off, and I was thinking, holy heck, bro. I am not the man, but I am the man. But I am the man. That's right. That's right. Walk away from me. What? Come back again.
Bro, my high school was funny as now, bro. Looking back, it was funny as, bro.
Yeah.
I went to Otahu, bro. And like when I was third form, my brother was like a senior. So I wouldn't walk around the school and like throw my weight around.
You're in third form, and then your brother's a senior.
He's like year 12. One brother was year.
That's a whole nother level of like.
So I knew it, but I didn't walk around the school like, I'm the man, no one can touch me. I never ever did that, bro, because I knew Otahu, if you do that at Otahu, that your whole family is going to get a hiding.
True,
But I used to, a lot of good friendships from that school, bro. It was really mean. But yeah, going into year 9 with like big brothers at the school, I was like, I found it buzzy because when I got to high school, bro, those dudes were completely different to who they were at home here. I knew those dudes as like the bullies. You know what I mean? That older brother vibe. Like whatever you do, he'll say, "Oh, shut up" or whatever. But you get to school, and he's like a good student, bro. It was crazy for me to witness it with both of them.
Yeah.
So high school was a crazy time, bro. But all the fights that I did get in those early years, bro, were like, it was mean, but it was also not mean, bro. Because like I'd get a hiding from some kid, bro. And then I'd go to like get a feed from the tuck shop and all that stuff. And then my older brothers would see me at the tuck shop or like beaten up. And then I'd get another hiding for getting a hiding. And then,
Which is crazy, by the way.
Yeah, I know, way.
Why are you giving me a hiding for getting a hiding, bro?
I think it's just the shame.
It is, bro.
Shame
To be
on our
honest,
names,
100%, bro. 100%.
Well, I look back now and I laugh, bro. I laugh hard because like I think that was their way of like teaching us a lesson in a way, bro. Because they're like, bro, don't ever think you can do that.
Yeah, but speaking of shame, like in high school days, the embarrassment that I feel from like myself back then, like when you haven't seen someone from those days and then you bump into them, you like it immediately takes you back to like it's so shaming. It's so shaming. I get so embarrassed, eh? Even talking about it, bro. I get
Do you remember your hairstyles, bro? Had the main hairstyles.
So
you better put a picture in this too so they can see you. I'll find one too.
it was bad, bro. Like
all the fashion and stuff that happened back then, eh?
it was so bad. Actually, low-key fire, because like I had braids. I had corn braids in high school. I can't remember what year I was in high school, but I had corn braids. Kind of. I had like this afro thing. But the thing was, back then, I had like the worst acne in the world, bro. Like the worst. Like, it was actually really depressing. As you speak about frustrations, having acne then, like high school, peak high school days, where I'm entering my prime as like, this alpha. It was so bad, bro. So I grew my hair
Put
long.
another picture.
I do have a picture, so I grew my hair long to cover my face, bro. That's how like insecure I was back then, which fueled all the other stuff. So I grew my hair long. So I had, but like my hair, I don't know if you can see my hair, but it's like thick and wiry. It is Muckabush. It was Muckabush mixed with like afro-ish, mixed with like kind of curls. When it gets really long, it starts getting like curly back then. So I had the braids, bad. And then I got dreads. When I left high school, that was bad too, bro. was bad too. My cousins back then, like, we were just listening to like Bob Marley and stuff, and I was just like,
Is that the life for me, bro?
bro, I was surfing, I was skateboarding. I had the what do you call them? The turtle shell necklaces, and it was bad, bro. It was actually really bad. So I had dreads. I had little baby dreads. I had those for like maybe 5 years. And then when I went to Excel Performing Arts School, dancing with dreads was just not the one. It was and it was like heavy. Like my neck was just like I couldn't. Yeah, bro, it was so bad. And it was paru. It was paru ass, bro. Like,
I was gonna ask about that, G. Like, what?
anyone who's got dreads, bro, like, stop it, bro. Like, you're paru ass, man. First of all, when you do have a shower, you're not even allowed to. Well, you're not supposed to use like normal shampoo and like condition that, because it'll untangle like what you've done. Because that's what clean hair is supposed to do, guys. It's supposed to not be tangled. So my hair was tangled. So the amount of muck that grew, like, bro, it was yuck. And shout out to my mum and my cousin, because they combed it out. So when I decided to get rid of my dreads, we were dancing. This was like 2010. 2009, 2010. First year of Excel. This is prime fangs. This is prime. So remember when you had the two fangs here, and then you had the fangs here, and then you had the fringe that like went that way, and the spiky hair at the back. They just changed it from what I was seeing. The spiky hair came down, and so there was no spiky hair in the back anymore. Like shout out Disguise, and shout out like Desire 2.0 and all them boys. Bro, shout out to you brothers, because you definitely like influenced the heck out of me with my hairstyle, and like everyone that I was around, by the way. So that came down, and so I thought, oh, I'm gonna comb my dreads out, which I grew for 5 years. So my dreads were like down to here, bro, like past my ribcage. So when my mom and my cousin combed it out, my hair was like honestly past my knees, and it was just like curls, like. I remember that first shower that I had, bro, after dreads. I was just like, yeah, it was yuck. First of all, and we looked inside the dreads, and it was like if you get a bunch of gum and tar and banana and just go like this, and then leave it there for like a few years. It was like that, bro. It was gross. It smelled like everything on your body that's not supposed to be. Like, it was bad, bro. It was actually really bad. So I combed it out, and then, they combed it out, and then I went to my mom's homegirl who used to do her hair, and she's like, no offense, but she was a bit older. She's not in the culture per se. She doesn't get the vision, bro, to what I wanted. I had no references to show her. All I said was, I want a fang here, and I want 2 fangs here. I got a photo of this.
Do you remember that? It looked. Is that why you wore the beanie all the time?
Yes, bro. Yes.
Is that why you wore the
Kenza
beanie?
days?
Yeah, gee.
So before that one was when I had the 4 fangs, and then I cut them off. But then I had the fringe. My fringe went from like here to like here. It was so bad.
But that was the whole crew, G. The whole crew had those.
Yeah, but I was overkill, bro. So going back to like wanting to like being frustrated from not getting like approval from everyone. If you got a fringe, I'm gonna get a fringe, bro. I'm gonna get the fringiest of fringe. Yeah, hard.
Yeah, I'll go worse.
Yeah, straight up. I had the fringiest of fringes, bro. It was so bad. If there's a clip of like the Akenza, what was it? Groove. What was it? What was it called? It was Groove, eh? It was Groove. Cause by the way, Limit Break had a 6 set.
Is that the one when Chris in the hat? Was it Chris who did that or Junior?
Mario. And then it was the crump set, bro. The infamous Limit Break crump set.
Oh, yeah.
And Junior's in the front, and they formed the thing, bro. If you know, bro, it was the baddest. I remember watching that. Douche. Oh my gosh. Damn, ID had a 6 set too. Shout out the boys. They had a 6 set. Who else? Desire had a, because they had the robot thing with the blue things.
Oh yeah,
and
that was sick.
And they done the reverse thing. They like
and the lights. Was it the lights for that they had in that time, or was that afterwards? G.
I can't remember. But
they did their like mad Chad.
Shout out to them too, bro, and shout out to you, Willis too, bro. The bro. But I remember thinking like this guy is a robot for real. Like he's yeah. So I had the fringes back then, and it was so bad, bro. And I remember thinking I was just the best looking dude, the best dancer ever. Like I thought, no one can tell me nothing, bro. I'm in my bag right now.
Think about the Auckland scene at that time.
Yeah.
Bro, how much ego was in that scene, bro? I think every dancer at that time, me included, had that exact mindset, bro. It's like, I'm the best dancer, most handsome, do the most gainers.
It was really bad, bro. My gainer was so ugly, bro. So like, I literally look like if you put me on if you sit me on a chair or a toilet seat, and then just picture that in the air, bro, just like going like that. It was ugly. First of all, when I learned, shout out Mikey too, because he was the one who taught me how to do gainer. Bro, my first gainer was in the studio in Excel. In the dance studio, bro, on wood floor. Don't do that, guys. Don't flip onto freaking wooden floors. Anyways, my gainers, they didn't go back. It was like side. Like my body was
like on an angle, or like completely
like my head was like this and my body was like that too on the side. It was, I don't know what you even call it. It was so bad. But I remember when I used to stomp it though, G. When I finally got it, like first of all, yeah, bro. Bro. You can't tell me
just pull that
nothing.
Out everywhere, once you've got
bro,
it,
honestly,
go to the clubs,
everywhere, G.
Go to the clubs, hit that gainer, and you're like,
everywhere, G. I'm pulling out gainers everywhere. Excel second year, we're on tour. So we're doing some like dance to like this like, what was it? Where is the love?
And he pulled out a gainer.
Pulled out a gainer. I wasn't even supposed to be on stage, but I ran out and pulled out the gainer. It was so bad, bro. I'm sorry, guys. Tour team. I was such an attention seeker back then, man. It was so bad. You gotta
do it though. That's a canon event, G.
I put a
gainer out everywhere. That goes back to the attention as well.
100%, bro. 100%.
Because you're like, oh yeah, I'll do the most gainers every time I'm out there. They'll be like, whoa, that guy done a flip.
Yeah. Bro, the amount of people that just put up with me, bro, and just let me like, it's so embarrassing, bro. When I think about it, I'm so ashamed. I'm sorry, guys. But man, I used to pull those things out everywhere, bro. And then it's buzzy. Like when you're doing it, like in reality, when you're doing it, you know the feeling that it feels. But then, like, I used to watch it back, like, years later. I'm thinking, bro, that's not even a gainer, bro. It's just me stuck on a toilet seat, like, going sideways in the air, bro. Not even flipping. It was so bad, man. Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah, so that was my haircut phase. What did I have after that?
Did you go to Baldies?
I did get Baldies. This is what happened. So, second year of Excel, I get the fangs, I get the fringes of fringes, and then I start to just slowly dial it back. Like one fang goes, 3 fangs go, all my fangs go. Now I just got the fringe. Fringe is down here, and then the fringe is there, and then it's there, and then it's there.
And then it just creeps all the way.
And then
up.
I remember because I was at the bro Kirama's house. Shout out you, brother. We were at your whānau's house in Dunedin, and we were getting a haircut or cutting our own hair. I think he had clippers, or his sister had clippers, something like that. Anyways, and I decided to cut my hair like extra short, and extra short for me was like maybe like a number like 6 on the top or 5. That was like the shortest I've ever been for age. I want to say ever, but I can't remember. Ages, yeah. And then I kind of stuck with that. It was like a mid fade with like a number 5 on the top. But I used to always wear the Jason Mraz hats.
Oh yeah, one of those guys.
What do you even call them? They're not top hats, but they're kind of like top hats.
I don't think they're fedoras, eh?
Fedora.
Are they fedoras?
It was like a fedora, but it wasn't that wide. Like it was like the short ones, and the brim was like tilted. But I didn't used to wear it. Like I want people to see my haircut, bro. So I used to like wear it like this, and just have the front showing, bro.
Put a picture up.
It was
bro. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel
you've
that.
had some haircuts though.
Yo, I think like I started like dyeing it. I think when I was like 15, bro.
Yeah.
And then you just see this hoary ass dude.
What were you dyeing it with?
Bro, box dye first.
Yeah.
Box dye first, because you thought it was me, eh? When you were younger, and you see that platinum blonde white lady on the box, and you're like, I'm gonna look exactly like that. And then like 3 hours later, and this little Waka blonde moldy boy.
Bro, the ugly like orange ringer.
Yeah, bro.
Streaky ass.
What my mom used to do is that she'll dye it twice.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Your hair twice?
Yeah, she'd bleach it twice.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if that violet dye was a thing.
Yeah.
Well, evidently it was, but we just didn't know that you could do that, bro. So I'd walk around school. I think it was when 2.0 did that Super Saiyan thing, bro.
Yeah.
Because our whole school, like all the Bring It On dudes went blonde, like right after that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did that for ages. And then it was like purple and pink and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Bro, but I think, yeah, it was just following what all the older boys had, eh? Because like that dance community at OC in itself was its own little
100%.
crew, I think, bro. And then like you watch the older boys, you're like, I want to be like those guys.
Remember when Josiah had their hair blonde at Worlds?
Yeah. We had 2 boys in our school that were in that group.
That was crazy.
Oh no, there were 3. Was it 3? Yeah, it was Leroy, Diamond, and Langa. Shout out, boys. Yo. And all those dudes came to school with their blonde hair and we're like, boys, why's your hair blonde? And they were like, gee, pull up YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Because YouTube was just starting
the
to pop
whole
back then,
crew
G.
though,
Yo,
G.
that was crazy. That was crazy. And
Whole crew
like,
is nuts.
I think those dudes, bro, didn't Blaze do that? Back in the days, I'm pretty sure Blaze did that first, G. But when they did the Super Saiyan thing, that's when every crew was like, yo, we need to up our game, G. Because that was crazy. That was unseen at that time, man. But yeah, those boys, bro, when they came back to school, everyone was like, oh, look at this dude. Well, you either hated it or you loved it, G. And 90% of the school loved it, bro, because no one had that at the time, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone just had their natural hair. A couple of the boys had gray hair, but they had that before. And then you see all these blonde dudes, blonde Super Saiyan Polynesians come to school. You're like, I think I'd like me some of that, G.
I think the first color I dyed my hair was red. And it wasn't like red. Yeah.
Was it like a dark?
But it was like it wasn't a permanent. It was like the washable
Oh,
ones.
yeah. Those ones were, I reckon those ones were mean, bro.
Well, because they look cool at the start and then they just, disappear eventually. Yeah.
That was what I did for RNVG.
Oh, yeah,
I had that, I had that. And then I was like, for ages, it was Waka Blonde again.
Yeah.
So, some PTSD. But yeah, I think blonde, all those colors. And then I was the same as you, bro, with those fangs. Yeah. I remember seeing you and the rest of the boys and was like, because I was with Be Real and all those dudes at that time, G. Yeah. Shout out the bros. And our manager was a stink dude, G. Jace, shout out you too. He was like, it's Auckland's biggest dance crew because we had all the big boys, G. That was like, yeah, my favorite group of people that I knew growing up, bro, because we were all like this, bro. Yeah. And yeah, we were all big. They were all big boys, but they still had those same hairstyles with like the fangs, the long fringe. Yeah, that was crack up. But yeah, same thing, bro. As time went on, the closer I got to 20, the less it looked like, fangs went, and then it was just, what are they called? Those One Direction hairstyles. Did you ever crack one of those, G? That Zayn Malik shaved the sides, G, and then I had that, bro, for ages.
I think I had it, but I didn't know that it was them.
Was it the same kind of thing with the blonde hair? You saw that hairstyle and you were like, yo, I think that's a bit of me.
I can't remember. I dyed my dreads blonde. The tips.
That would have been sick, G.
Yeah, I used to say it was because of the sun, because I'm a surfer, bro. Yeah.
Sun-kissed, bro.
Sun-kissed, bro. It's like,
That's the Californian in you, is it, G?
it's so stupid. Yeah, that's actually like, I don't know if we can pinpoint all of this to like, first. But it's buzzy, like, when you think about something early on that's affected you, and then what trips me out is that you can clearly visualize the path that it took you on, you know what I mean, in life. So early frustrations. Now can we get into like adult frustrations, bro? Because like they are no joke. They are actually no joke. The first frustration as an adult, let's put an age to an adult. I know 18, but like maybe like 23 to like 25, or like 22 to like 25. Maybe those years. Like if you've studied uni, you finished uni, or you just started mahi, one of those things. Like you just started work. I remember the responsibility now. Yep. Like I have to like, what?
Bro, bills was crazy.
What do you mean I'm buying this phone and then every month I have to pay a bill for it? Why?
Not just a bill for it, this massive bill.
$118, bro? What do you mean I have to pay to call people and text people, bro? Isn't this device supposed to be like the smartest thing in the world? I paid $2,000 for it on a plan, by the way.
Credit? What do you mean I have a credit history now that I'm 18?
That was legit the most frustrating thing in the freaking world, man. And shout out to my parents too, because you definitely spoiled me. Maybe you don't want to say it, but you did. You spoiled me. And but I'm grateful. I'm grateful now. But bro, those early frustrations of like, because what you didn't know then, and the things that you know now, and now you start adding value to these things, or like putting things in a place of value that you didn't before, and then you start realizing like cars, like clothes, like shoes.
Bro, even having to pay for your own feeds.
Yes, bro.
Once you turn 18, you're like, bro, this is sad. Mom, can you?
Because high school days and that, like, the boys chip in gold coins. You got like 10, 12 bucks. You get like $2 chips, and then you get whatever else. And then you split like $2 into 50-cent coins and go play Spaceys or whatever. That was a good ass time. What do you mean I have to spend like $30 on myself at McDonald's, bro? Like, I'm bigger now. I want to eat more. I know what I like. And like, bro, that was my, sorry for yelling. I was just triggering clearly. Those frustrations of responsibility early on as an adult, as like a young adult, were definitely sent me down getting those 3K loans. Hustling, probably selling stuff that I shouldn't sell, stealing stuff that isn't mine. Yeah, bro, that just because I was just like, I want these things, like these things that I desire, I need them. And now your social group has kind of grown a little bit, or they've changed, and those like older boys that you used to look up to now, they were really only kids, but they were older than you. Now you're looking up to adults, bro, who like got a full-on life, like that are like maybe just below 30. They got cars, they got a missus, they got all the nice shoes and all that. We're not knowing that they're working like a proper full-time job, like, and they've really got no time to do anything and they're slaving it right now. But we see the products of what they can get because of what they're doing. You know what I mean? What are your early frustrations as an adult?
Bro, I think it was mainly just money, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I had my son young, bro. I was 19. Yeah, so like my like adult frustrations, my adult frustrations would have started way younger than that. Because having my boy, it kicked my ass into making all these adult decisions straight away, bro.
See, because like those desires that you have, you really can't.
Yeah, you see all the boys your age going out, and
you got someone else that you got to provide for.
Yeah.
So you can't, like, what do you mean by myself stuff?
What do you mean get a real job?
My boy needs nappies, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what my first frustration was.
Yeah.
My young son.
Yeah.
How are we gonna get involved in state when we're in a
Yeah.
How are we gonna be able to survive? I'm a kid myself.
Bro, that's so like, that is so intense.
Yeah. Having to commit to a job that young.
Cause you have to.
You have to. That's what
Yeah, you got no choice.
Yeah.
That, bro. That's frustrating me just even thinking about that. Cause like, you're being, I don't want to say forced, but like you're almost forced into like changing your lifestyle because you have a new life that you have to take care of, you know. And you're at a time in your life where you want to go out and have fun. Like you've just started going clubs and like, you know what I mean, and experiencing this new life.
You just became old enough to go in that space,
Yeah.
and there it is.
And now I can't go.
Can't go there.
And then yeah.
Nah, it was all good though, bro. Because like I think it was a really good thing for me, bro. Because it clued me in on how to survive properly much younger than it would have if I didn't, bro. Because you know, I'd look at all my mates when we were going out, and bro, same age as me, they'd all be broke, G, when we're going out. And you're like, I get we're young, but at the same time, I'm like, I got a kid to feed too, bro. I can't pay for all this stuff.
Did it put things in perspective for you to where like you start comparing like $30 for a box could be like groceries for like
Yeah, $30 could be KFC. It could be nappies and formula.
Oh, that's so buzzy to think about it like 19 years old, bro. I just remember when I think I was in the Philippines and 19 years old running amok, bro. And that's so.
There's also that other path that I could have gone down, you know, as opposed to doing what I.
You could have still done all those other things and just forgot about the kid.
But yeah, that frustration of I guess there was frustration at being jealous of like all the homies that were going out every weekend and doing all that stuff. But you look at like the quality of their like friendships and all that stuff that they had, there wasn't really much of that, bro. And I think that's when me and my brothers got a lot closer because, bro, McLeod boys breed young, breed hard, bro. So there were 3 of us all like having kids quite early, bro. So we spent a lot of time together throughout that.
Well, at least you had other people to relate to if your same situation, yeah.
It was, I think that frustration kind of turned into, okay, I know what I have to do now. And like when you have that added responsibility, you have no choice but to like suck it up and muck in, bro. And like it's only now that I'm realizing, bro, I didn't have to just do that one thing. I could have been doing like the same thing that I'm doing now back then, bro. And I think that's more frustration as well. And that frustration in yourself, because a lot of parents, bro, when they have kids young, they think, okay, this is my life now. I'm just going to work every day and then that's it. I'm not going to, you know? And then just fall into that same pattern of just work, maybe drink on the weekend. That's it. Yeah, I did that for a bit too.
Yeah, I was definitely the opposite.
Just out here every weekend.
I was in the streets. I was in the streets for real, man. It was really bad. It was actually really bad. My frustrations were I didn't have enough money to fuel the lifestyle that I wanted to.
Yeah, G. That's what I was talking about, G. I'd see all the homies out. Yeah. And they'd be like, get us a round, G. And then you get one round, get us another round, G. And I'm like...
But I knew the people to be around.
Well, you didn't have to worry as much, eh?
Yeah. I knew the bros with the cars. I knew the bros with like to get me into this place and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like they were genuine relationships, but they were like
transactional too.
Well, they were low-key strategized by me, because I knew what they could provide me. You know what I mean? And if I'm being completely honest with myself, if you were to strip away those things that we're doing, like the context of and the places that we're at, I don't think we'll be as close as we are, you know? Which is
it's often like that, eh, bro?
Yeah, and it's like it is a bit harsh to say, and like there's no shade to like the boys back then. I definitely had like a big role to play in that too. Obviously, I didn't have to be there; I chose to be there. But yeah, it was definitely frustrating. And it was also frustrating, like going back to like my household, like seeing who God was in my parents' lives. And then also by this point in my early, 20s, experiencing God in a real way for myself, being frustrated that I know that this is wrong. Like what I'm doing. Like what I'm doing is like really wrong. Like so wrong. Like this, even if I didn't know God, I know the things that I'm doing is so bad. Like so bad. And I think it was my internal, voice was saying like, come on, bro. Like what are you doing? Like the time that I wasted. And like I know some people say you got to get it out of your system or whatever, but like going back to like your situation, like the blessing in disguise of having a child when you're a little bit younger is it kind of like puts things into perspective really really quick, where for me it took me to like my now wife, my partner back then, to like make me realize like, oh yeah, this lifestyle I shouldn't like. This is a bad lifestyle. Like, yeah, and because now I have this important figure in my life, that clearly loves me a lot, and that I love too, but I'm still trying to juggle between living this life out in the streets and being a present, And so there was a moment where I would bring her into that kind of lifestyle, and I definitely, speaking about frustration, I've definitely caused her like the most frustration in anyone's life. The fact that my wife, I get to call her my wife still, is insane. Like, I'm aware of that, of who I was back then, because I was trying to juggle both sides, bro. Like, I was trying to still feel like this lifestyle that I was living, and I was trying to, because it gave me instant gratification, you know what I mean? Because I'd fall asleep all day and then wake up 4 or 5 p.m., go out to town, start drinking again with the boys or whatever, get it everywhere for free. These like so-called like, friendships or whatever that I have. It was fueling me, like, you know what I mean? And it became my identity really quick. And then so that was frustrating, that I knew even before I met my wife that I had to let that go. But now I have an even bigger reason why I need to let that go. Because the people that I'm around, if you're in a relationship, even if you're not in a relationship, but specifically if you are in a relationship, a committed relationship, you shouldn't be around like these people, because the things that they're doing is not good. You know what I mean? And that was frustrating, bro. Like, because I'm just sitting on the fence between like, I like what I'm doing, you know what I mean? But then I also have this person, and then responsibilities, and then work, and then bills, and then, well, I don't want to live with my parents like for ages, you know what I mean? We want our own house. She wants to live by ourselves, and then the pressure starts adding on, bro, and then it's just like, oh snap, like life is like life, bro, like, oh.
Why did no one tell me it was like this?
It hit me hard, bro. It definitely hit me hard. And I knew there was a lot of things I had to change about myself, or allow myself to change for myself, but also for her. She was a big part of that too. That was frustrating. And then what's buzzy is that, like, I know all frustrations are internal, but my frustrations from that point onwards, for me realizing that I needed to change, became like really internal. And I started to like isolate myself from speaking, from sharing, from like showing how I'm really feeling. I went from like this,
just from yourself, like isolating,
100%, and like locking myself in devices, or whatever, dopamine hits from me, like, from stuff. And because I was so frustrated, I just decided to like just lock it all inside and just not voice it. And eventually like it explodes, bro. And like, man, my explosions back then were so bad, bro. They were real violent. Never towards my wife or my family, thank God, but it was more like I'm punching holes in the walls, I'm denting cars, My knuckles are all bloody because I'm just thrashed the whole room. You know what I mean? I'm punching. We had a wooden fence, and I literally stood outside because me and my wife got into an argument back then, and I was so frustrated that I couldn't take my anger out on her, that I went outside into this wooden fence and I just punched it, kept punching it until I punched all the way through it. And it was like a thick piece of wood, bro. And I just get bang, 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 bang. I used to punch trees. My wife was a testament to this. I used to literally just go outside and punch trees. I was so frustrated, bro. Like,
that's a young man's game, eh?
yeah, and the frustration just felt so more real than how it usually.
Like real, but at the same time, it felt in that moment it feels unsolvable as well, eh, bro? You know what I mean?
I think that is the fuel to the frustration, is that I can't fix this right now. Like, I don't have the answer right now.